Shift, please. And action.
Hey, welcome aboard Hangtime. We're gonna do a little fishing today. Gonna try one of the ledges off the Virgin Islands, either north or south. We haven't made up our minds yet, but we are going to run at least a 5-rod spread with a great bait presentation. So we're gonna follow some of the rules today. Number one, we're gonna present a great feast that looks and acts naturally in the water behind the boat, and we're gonna go try to fish where the fish are. Those are two critical components of it. At look at bottom terrain, we're gonna look at the ledges. We have a big north swell coming down from a storm that's off the Atlantic. Hopefully that's churning up at that ledge and bringing stuff out of the depths, which then activates the entire food chain. Biggest concern going out here is that if we catch a fish, there could be sharks, and it's gonna be a race against the sharks to get this fish aboard. So, gonna put a big spread out there. We're gonna use a mix of natural bait, ballyhoo, rigged on Islanders, and then we're gonna run some smaller tuna lures as well on the outside, long. We'll go into that more as we actually put the bait out. You can start to see them swim. It's gonna be a great day. That's where the fish are. It's gonna happen, boss. It's gonna happen out there. So this is the Sea Star. Blue and white is always popular, but running a colorful, diverse bait spread to see what we're gonna hook first. What's interesting to fish, and this will be my first choices. So here we have a spread of Islander lures, and we're gonna run these with ballyhoo. All of these are rigged for ballyhoo at the moment. You just have to put the ballyhoo on, and we'll talk about that. But so this is an Islander Junior, a little bit smaller than the rest. All of them have a ballyhoo rig on it. This is the Sea Star. I've never even fished. I haven't fished any of these three. I've fished the other ones. Blue and white's a great color for a bright sunny day like today. So it shows up well and acts very, very naturally in the water, looking like a flying fish. But then these other ones are very, very colorful too. And this Sea Star pattern's gonna have a little bit different action on it. And then this is just a slightly smaller one to attract perhaps tuna. So mahi will hit any of these. Whoa. And there it goes. Mahi will hit any of these.
It's a good thing we have the,
Yes, a kid would be.
That's the first time this thing has seen the water. Well, look at that.
How's it? It held up well.
It held up well, yeah. So a mahi will hit any of these, and a wahoo will hit any of these as well. Tuna is going to be a little bit more particular. They're going to want they have a smaller mouth. They're going to go after smaller bait. So this Islander Junior might be good for tuna. But we also have a couple of tuna killers here. These are tormentor lures, so small tormentors, little tuna darts, and then I also have the classic.
For tassels too.
Yeah, they could be used for tassels for any kind of dance routine you might want to do. And then we have these are really, really popular with the fish. You can see one of these. This one here has already been chomped on once. This is just a little painted cedar plug and a mackerel pattern. And the action is just it just drives the fish wild. So we have a really good buffet that we're ready to put out there today. Let's see if we can hook something. See if we can attract something. What's the classic response from a barracuda?
Flopping on the surface, splashing.
Splashing on the surface. Exactly. You're both right. What kind of tail does a barracuda have? Anyone know? I describe it as a fan tail. So it is flat across the back. So as it comes out, it's got a square, sort of a vertical tail in the back. What about a tuna or a wahoo or a mahi?
Or yellowfin.
Or a yellowfin. They have a forked tail. So we're looking for that forked tail that looks like this. What's the difference between a forked tail and a fan tail? What are they used for? What? Speed and maneuverability. Which one's more maneuverable? Which one is for speed and which one is for maneuverability? The forked tail's for speed. For speed. It gives it kind of a combination of both speed and maneuverability, but wahoo and mahi are burst speed fish. They are ambush hunters, especially the wahoo. And the tuna are going to try to ambush as well. So that's burst speed. They can go really, really fast. The barracuda has that fan tail, which is better for maneuverability and maneuvering in tight spaces, where the barracuda typically hunt on reefs and in shallower waters. So this is the first time that we have fished going out for a pure fishing trip on Hangtime. So setting up the boat it's not dissimilar to ours. So we're going to run a similar 5-line spread, and by our boat I mean our Leopard 46. So this is a great catamaran setup. You should very easily be able to do 5 lines off the back. And so what we're going to do is we have These 2 rods right here are going to go down to flatline clips, and they're going to run down the outside of the wake, and then we're going to run a hand line right down the center of the wake, and these are going to be our ballyhoos. So we're going to run a 3 ballyhoo spread. You don't want them too far back behind the boat, maybe a boat length and a half to a boat length for the inner one, and then boat length and a half there. And then the outside rods are going to be our long game. We're going to run the smaller tuna darts on those, so probably a small painted cedar plug, maybe a tormentor, and see what works. If the fish are hitting the ballyhoo, then we will switch to all ballyhoo. So it's just going to depend on what the fish are going after, but we have a great spread here and a lot of room to work with. And so we're going to have, if we get multiple engagements at once, we're going to have people able to walk back and forth, and we'll be talking to the helmsman and making sure that we are bringing in lazy lines and then maneuvering
woman.
Helmswoman, sorry, helmsperson in today's day and age. We're gender neutral these days and fluid. So we had a great day, and our plan was pretty good going into it. Went out and we had a lot of action. We saw barracuda, we saw bonito, we saw blackfin tuna, we saw kingfish and cirro mackerel. So we had a pretty good spread. The only thing that we're missing from that were the fish that we were really wanting to target, which was mahi and wahoo, which is unfortunate, they just weren't there. But we saw whales, which is a huge bonus. Kids jumped in and swam. We saw a couple of what we think were humpback whales, maybe a mom and her calf. We're not sure. We didn't get close enough to identify them. But what a great day! And anytime we're out on the water, it was a lot of fun. So thank you so much to Hangtime for allowing us to rig the boat up as a sport fisherman for a day, and we look forward to doing it again. Fantastic day.